Hey, everybody. Hey, Mary on Facebook, Mary Pruitt. Tell Pick I said hello. Happy New Year to both of you. Hey, everybody in the Zoom room. This is Kim Danke coming to you live from the Shibboleth studios with our Sunday night webinar, the Shibboleth Lifestyle Overview. I'm going to do a little housekeeping and get us started. We're going to get officially started at 8:03. I give everybody 3 minutes to get logged in and figure it all out if they've never had the opportunity to be in a Zoom room before. So if you will all look at your chat button, click your chat button, whether it is on your computer or on your phone, and then choose the drop-down menu of all panelists and attendees. Okay. Hey, Chris, thank you. Thank you for telling me that. I appreciate it. Hey, Lynn. And so, yeah, Chris and Lynn, if y'all don't mind, have a look at your little chat feature and choose all panelists and attendees. Everybody choose that. That way we can all see if anybody types in anything. And as we are waiting until 8:03, I would like for you to tell me a couple of bits of information. So I would like to know if you are new or if you are here for a restart, because we do have that happen. So new or restart, where you're watching from, what area of the country you live in, so that I can start to connect with you and you can start to connect with your other Shibboleth family members. And then, okay, Lynn Vance is new. Awesome. Where are you from, Lynn? And then the other thing is, okay, Carrollton, Georgia. My daughter lives in Carrollton. Chickamauga, Georgia, restart. All right, I see. Okay, y'all are flying through there. I'll have to check all those in a second. If you are in a Facebook group called the Way Less group, or if you're in the Real Skinny, or if you're in Living Shibby, please let me know if you heard about Shibboleth through any of those groups. Hey, Chase Hester on Facebook. All right, let's see. Cindy from Chickamauga, a restart. I bet you know Julie Marandino, right? Hey, Sherry, restart from Georgia. And Chris Hunter, new from Peoria, Arizona. Awesome. We've been talking. That's great. Kim Brock from Rockmart, Georgia. April Babcock, Elkhart, Indiana. Welcome. Deanna Wood, restart, Jacksonville, Florida. And let's see.
Sorry, I couldn't quite hear you. Could you please repeat what you said?
Do y'all ever have that happen? You didn't mean to talk to SIRI, but she heard you anyway. Hey, Nathaniel. Nathaniel is new. And Susan is new. Locust Grove, Georgia. All right. Jennifer, new 1 week. Cartersville, welcome. Christy, restarting. Cleveland, Tennessee. Carrie Davis, Dalton, Georgia. Margaret, new. Fort Worth, Living Shibby. Awesome. So, Margaret, were you a Premier Designs jeweler? Let's see. April, Living Shibby. Chris Hunter, Living Shibboleth. Yes. The Real Skinny, Elkhart, Indiana. Awesome. Refreshing, Douglasville, Living Shibboleth. Fabulous. Lisa Staten from Indy. Hi from Katy, Texas, to Angela and Margaret. Awesome. I was too for 14 years. It was a wonderful, wonderful company. And I see all that going on up there. Hey, Linda Wade on Facebook. Now, just to let you know, Linda, and those of you that are on Facebook, if you're able to jump into the Zoom room, the answers are not delayed. Hey, Cherie, glad to have you on here. That's awesome. And I'm not sure if I missed an Allison Brogdon or not, but I wanted to say hello to you. There was a special shout out for you from Katinka today. So thank you for everybody watching on Facebook too. But if you're able to get over into the Zoom room, that will be awesome. Cherie, I'm so glad you're here. I look forward to having lunch with you tomorrow. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started. I'm going to share my screen with you tonight. And what I don't want you to feel like you have to do during this is I don't want you to feel like you need to screenshot anything. Okay, you're going to have access to this PowerPoint after this webinar. And I know that if people are busy screenshotting, they're not thinking and they're not taking notes. And I like for you to take notes because we have part 2 tomorrow night at 8 p.m. And it's important for you to take notes tonight because I ask you the questions back tomorrow night. All right. So feel free to ask any questions that you might have tonight, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So this is a lifestyle overview for the Shibboleth lifestyle. You'll notice that I did not say the word diet. Diets do not work. Okay, we got to find something that we are willing to learn, understand, marry, and start living every single day. So we're going to stop dating diets, and we're going to marry a lifestyle. And this is the one that you've chosen. So we're going to teach you how to have that relationship with this lifestyle and with your other Shibboleth members, because there's fun ways to engage. So I'm going to just go over the basics tonight, because when you are learning something new, I truly believe that you need to know the terms that we use, what those terms mean, and how you can take these very concrete ideas and turn them into taking action tomorrow, taking action on your very first day, your very first perfect day. And then you'll be able to measure whether or not you met those things tomorrow. Okay, so we're going to go over the basics. So there are two modes in Shibboleth. You are either in weight loss mode or maintenance mode. Weight loss or maintenance. There's three differences between the two modes. One is simply the number of holidays that you can use in a calendar month. Two is a funny thing, how you eat fruit. And three is your mindset. Yes, many people, when they start Shibboleth, do have a diet mindset. But in order to create the victory that you're wanting and then keep that victory as part of your life and maintain this for the rest of your life, we got to get to that mindset that it's not a diet, that it is a lifestyle. So we're going to do that during weight loss mode, get you there, okay? So we'll go over those other two things, the holidays and the fruit, in just a second. There are two types of Shibboleth days. You either have a perfect day or a holiday. A perfect day or a holiday. Now, if you've done other quote lifestyles or diets before, you may have heard the word cheat day, or the two words cheat day. We do not cheat on Shibboleth, because there are days where you can use food for celebratory purposes and for other reasons, and that's not a perfect Shibboleth day. You can use those throughout the month. And so when you are logging into your journal, because journaling is important, when you log into your journal in your website, be very familiar with logging in. Save it as a favorite. Save the Shibboleth website as a favorite in your favorites bar, so it's quick and easy to get to. But when you log into your journal and you go in and you declare your day every single morning, you get to choose, am I having a perfect day or a holiday? If you are a Tiger's Eye member, and a lot of people have just joined with that Tiger's Eye level of membership, if you are at that level, when you click on that drop down box, a lot of different types of days are going to pop up. I don't want you to get confused about those at all, because you, in the beginning, are only focused on two days. You're focused on a perfect day or a holiday. Don't concern yourself or worry about what the other ones are. This is what you can think about those. When I am ready, after I have the basics of this lifestyle down, when I'm ready, I can move into advanced topics and advanced type of days. But right now, perfect day or holiday. That's all we're going to think about. So how many holidays are allowed? Well, in what we call weight loss mode, you can use up to 6 holidays in a calendar month. Once you get to maintenance mode, you can use up to 12 holidays in a calendar month. Now, there is an expectation that those other days that you're not having holidays are truly perfect days, because a day that turns into okay days, that's not going to work with 12 holidays. An okay day is actually a holiday. We're either having a perfect day or a holiday. So I plan my holidays out. So for example, when the month of, I'm just going to talk about December because there were a lot of holidays in there. When the month of December came along, I looked at the calendar and I said, am I going out of town? And I was going out of town for some Christmas travel. I wanted holidays. Was there an actual holiday in that month that I might want to have as a holiday? Yes, of course, Christmas. And then were there any other days during that month that I might want to have a holiday that revolved around food or something special that I might want to have a holiday? I marked those off on my calendar. And I had all the other days be perfect days so that I could truly know that I could enjoy those holidays. So I would highly suggest that you schedule out and plan your holidays that way too. It does make a big difference when you look at in advance at the month. So, how do you have a perfect day? We follow the Shibboleth shield. Thank you, Margaret. We follow the Shibboleth shield. Okay. A shield is there to protect you. Okay. So these little fiery darts are going to come at you, but you're going to use your shield. Okay. And you're going to make all those little fiery darts go away and not be able to touch you at all. So we're going to use the Shibboleth shield for your after your first perfect day, you're going to see a green check on your timing chart. Okay. The timing chart, it gets little, it's a calendar and it gets these cute little icons on it by what you declare in your journal, what type of day you're having. So your first perfect day is going to be check, I did it. Your second perfect day, check, I did it. Your third perfect day is going to be a flame. After two Shibboleth perfect days, your body is in EFB, baby. EFB, efficient fat burning. And that's exactly where you want to be. We want to use the stored energy, which is fat, that is on our body for the energy that we need. Well, after two perfect Shibboleth days, that's what you're doing. And that's why we have such awesome success. So, in order to have a perfect day, I like to call these my 5 daily disciplines. But Travis calls them the 5 components of the shield. But I like daily disciplines. And you know what else I taught a lesson on yesterday in the Kennesaw Shibby Shop was that these are our standards. You have to have standards to live by. These are our standards. So, we're going to drink our water. We're going to journal our foods and what type of day we're having. We're going to combine foods in a way that control insulin. We're going to do combinations. We're going to portion control because that's important too. And we're going to learn about timing and apply really great timing. Now, all of these things are very actionable, meaning you can take action on them tomorrow. Okay, so let's go over each one of these individually. So, component number one, or the first daily discipline, is water. You want to drink at least half a gallon of water every single day. That would be 64 ounces. And for a visual, right here, four of these would be your minimum. That means you must get that in order to say you've had a perfect day in that area of that. Of the shield. Now, if you can shoot for a gallon, and we highly suggest that you try, then going for that gallon is really, really good. 128 ounces. A dehydrated body will not efficiently give up fat or waste. And I know this might sound funny, but water in, fat out, water in, poop out. So you got to let both those things going. A dehydrated body will not efficiently give up fat or waste, and we need both of those things moving throughout our body. So make sure you're getting your water in. What I do in the mornings is I set these on the counter. I need a visual. I need to make these go away during the day. So I set them all on the counter and then I throw them away, and I can have my goal of going over there and getting myself another water. Component number two of the Shibboleth Shield, or our second daily discipline, is to journal. We must journal daily. If you bite it, you write it. If you nibble it, you scribble it. If you drink it, you ink it. And if you hog it, you log it. Okay. We have got to write down all of our foods. This is huge in the area of behavior modification. Believe me, having to write down what you're eating and what goes in your mouth can stop you from eating many of unapproved things that aren't going to help you get the results that you want. All right. So you are now a citizen of Planet Shibboleth, and there are no idle bites on Planet Shibboleth. So write everything down. If you lick the dust off of a Dorito, you write it down, and that would be a holiday. You'd have to change your journal if you had a perfect day and then lick the dust off a Dorito. You got to go back and change it to a holiday. Okay. Component number 3 of the Shibboleth Shield is combinations. We're going to eat properly combined meals. We're going to eat in a way that controls insulin, aka the fat bus. Insulin is a hormone that stores fat. We're going to do a science lesson in just a minute to help you understand that, and more of that tomorrow night. Properly combined meals keep away the fat bus, and that is very, very important. Now, this is secret alert territory right here. This combinations is secret alert. We know automatically most of the time, hey, I have to eat less if I'm trying to burn body fat. But this supercharges our weight loss. So this is very, very important. And we're going to do one slide on this tonight in just a few minutes. But tomorrow night, the 1 hour webinar tomorrow night is on this topic alone. Okay, so it's that important. So you need to make a plan to come back tomorrow night. Component number 4 of the Shibboleth Shield is portion control. Like I said, most people think of this automatically when they want to lose some weight, and we do have to do it. It is important. We really are overeating food. Our stomachs are stretched out and we've been putting too much in. So we're going to have to portion control. So we're going to eat properly portioned meals from a 6 to 8 inch plate, or use the 2-hand rule. So the 2-hand rule is simply this. You take your 2 hands, you put your fingers as close together as possible, and you move your thumbs out of the way. You put your hands together as close as possible. You lay your hands down over your food. If you cannot see your food sticking out around your hands, you have portion controlled, okay? That is that. It's so simple. You carry your measuring tools with you everywhere you go. So at home, maybe you do eat on that smaller plate, so it tricks your eyes and you know you have a full plate. But when you go to that restaurant and they serve it on that massively huge plate, just use your 2 hands. Also, it's suggested that you go ahead and order that doggy bag right away and let them cut. You go ahead and put that portion that does not fit underneath your hands in that doggy bag for a second meal later that day or tomorrow, okay? So we're going to eat properly portioned meals. So we've been over 4 of the 5 components: water, journaling, combinations, and portions. These 4 must be met on a day for you to say that you're having a perfect day. So you go ahead and you meet those 4. Christy says that we couldn't see. Now, Christy, are you on a phone? And it depends on the phone, because some people can see it. Sorry, Christy, some people can see it. So what I did with my hands was I closed my fingers up. And you're on the laptop. That's weird. You should be able to see me. That's weird, because I'm looking at my display on Facebook and I can see me up in the top right-hand corner. Do you have the chat up? Is it over my picture? Check and see if it's over my picture. I might want to check your view. Okay, cool. Okay, well, I'll redo it though. You put your fingers together as close as possible. You move your thumbs out of the way and you put your hands together. And then you lower your hands down over your food. And you just don't want to see your food sticking out around your hand. Also, it should not be any thicker than the thickest part of your hand. So we're not piling up that Thanksgiving plate and then going up like this. I can't see my food. I had a friend send me a picture. He was at a restaurant. He sent me a picture like this. I can't see my food, Kim. I was like, that is not the way you do it. But okay, so we have to portion control. Oh, anyway, we've been over 4. Those are the ones that you have to meet in order to say that you have a perfect day. But number 5 is very, very important. We put this in here because it's important for optimizing all that you do. Now, I want you to know that we're going to go over these 5 components, but they aren't cafeteria style. You don't get to pick which ones you want to do and all of that. Don't count on breakthrough in just one area. It's the whole package that Travis has put together. It's the whole lifestyle that goes together. So the first 4 must be met in order for you to say you've had a perfect day. This timing one is about optimization. Now, we really can't wake up. We can't tell everybody, hey, eat at 8, eat at noon, eat at 6, eat at, we can't do that. Everybody has different lives. So we've got to give you the guidelines and then you figure out what works best within your lifestyle, okay? So you don't want to have more than 3 meals a day. Now, Travis is calling eating episodes, okay? And that's something that you can kind of advance into. But if you ever see people type in EE on any posts on Facebook, just know that they're calling that an eating episode. Because Travis believes you should not have more than 3 eating episodes in a day. But this is newbie land, okay? Travis is 20-year veteran land, all right? That's why some of those other days that are in your journal those are advanced topics, okay? I'm teaching you newbie land, okay? And so we can do up to 3 meals a day. And breakfast for the Father, lunch for the Son, and dinner for the Holy Spirit. 3 wonderful times to sit down and commune with the Lord and say, thank you for this delicious meal. Thank you for the gift of Shibboleth. I'm going to have my water today, Lord. I'm going to journal my foods today, Lord. I'm going to eat in a way that controls insulin. I'm going to portion control, and I'm going to treat my temple right. So 3 3 times a day to sit down there and do that. Okay. We suggest that you have these meals 4 to 6 hours apart. If you think about all of the commercials that you see and all the people that you hear talking about digestive issues, there's a lot of digestive issues out there. And one reason is because we are overworking the digestive system. We are never giving that digestive system an opportunity to have a break from constant digesting. So you want to give your body a break to start, a chance to start breaking down food before you put more food in. One meal takes about 36 hours to digest, and so really just waiting 4 to 6 hours between meals, that food hasn't completely digested yet. It's just that you're not grazing and you're not just shoving it in all day. Okay, so up to 3 meals a day, 4 to 6 hours apart. In moments of what we call mental weakness, those opportunities or those times where you're like, I just need something, we do have answers for you. You can utilize freebies, an extra, or a snack. Okay. So freebies are actually unlimited. Okay. You can have an extra. And somebody asked me yesterday in class, what's an extra? I said, it's just something little extra. It's just a little something extra. But it's just a small little thing that you can use in just as a something little extra. That's why I call it that. And then you can have a snack. Okay. Any of these items, a freebie, an extra, or a snack, would need to be an approved item in our food library. We got tons of options in there. So it would need to be an approved item. So you can use those if you need to. Now, keep in mind though, that we do need to stop grazing. We are not cows. We do not need to graze. Okay, we are human beings. We weren't designed to graze. Cows were, we're not. So we need to not graze. Okay, so let's talk about the fact that in this timing world and all the things that you can eat, you want to, I lost my train of thought. Oh, okay. There are good, better, and best days. So let's say that you do have 3 meals a day. So let's say you have breakfast and then you have an extra in the morning, mid-morning. Then you have lunch and then you have a snack and then you have dinner. And then at night you have some freebies. That's grazing, really. Okay. But if you have changed the combinations and you're portion controlling, and these are all approved items, you're still going to have great results. Yeah, Margaret says cows have 4 stomachs and they're made for grazing. That's right. That's right. And we have 1. We were not. So thank you for that, Margaret. So you're going to, so that would actually be a good Shibboleth perfect day. It would. That would be a good Shibboleth perfect day. But there's a better Shibboleth perfect day. Maybe you just have 3 meals, and then if you need a freebie, you have a freebie. And then maybe of even best or the better Shibboleth day would just be 3 meals. But I know that our days vary. Our days vary. We're not always going to just do 3 meals, or maybe we're super busy. We only have 2 meals. That's fine too. All of that works. So just know that there's good, better, and best. many of your days are going to be different than the day before. So all of those things are things that you can use. You just want to make sure that you don't go over or beyond the guidelines, because if you do, that'd be called a holiday, and you would want to go back and change your journal, okay, to a holiday. And but you're going to have great results on Shibboleth. Now, in the beginning, and you utilize all these things, you're still going to have great results. But when we get closer to your goal weight, you might have to dial it in a little bit more and leave some of those things out. So just start to keep in mind all that you can have, but that you might need to start taking some of those things out to get the results that you want in the end. So part of this week, so in your Shibboleth account, there is I'm going to go there real quick. I'm going to pop over. I'm going to stop sharing this because I have figured out that this is an important thing to share with people. I'm going to go to the Shibboleth website, and I want to quickly show you where you're going to be getting your education from this week. I'm going to click on Dashboard. Now, if you're brand new, your Fast Track should be popping up automatically, but then click on Fast Track if it's not. Okay, and there are these 7 laps right here. And you've got these little tasks to do. These little tasks are written there, and they've been put there in order to help you on a self-directed journey through an education week. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to hover over this little this eye, this little information eye, and it's going to pop up with a black box. Read that black box. That black box is like you and I were talking right now. Or if you called me at midnight when you're excited and you're looking at this is what I would tell you about why you're doing this task. Okay, and if there's any other information that you need about it, then it's written there. And then this is where you will click and it'll take you to the page. You may still have to scroll up and down on that page to find the exact spot to do what you're being asked to do there, but it will take you to the page. So part of this journey is filling out a worksheet, okay? And this worksheet, I really want y'all to go in and print out that worksheet. That was on lap 3, because this is going to be really important for you to start to figure out the foods that you like and build your meals. But the reason I was showing this worksheet is because when we were just now talking about freebies, extras, and snacks, see right here, this gives you an opportunity to play around in the food library and look at some freebies, extras, and snacks that you might like, okay? And so you can utilize this worksheet to help you walk through this. And this is meal replacements. MRs is meal replacements. So I just wanted to pop in and show you that, your Fast Track. This video on each of the laps is a video of me showing you how to do each one of these, and it'll help shorten your learning curve on learning the lifestyle, okay? All right, let me go back to that. Okay, so we're going to move on and talk about how do I put together a properly combined meal. So this is the one slide we're going to go over on combinations tonight. Tomorrow night's full hour is on combinations. So there are 7 categories of food. So you just need to know that. You need to know there's 7 categories of food. I would ride around in the car, be in the shower, walking down the hall. I'd be like, lean protein is a category 1. Fibrous carbs are category 2. This is important enough to memorize, okay? There's only 7, so you can do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the category number, the name of the category, and the abbreviation. So category 1s are lean protein, or LP. This is where you're going to find egg whites, chicken breast, turkey breast. 96% lean ground meat. And if you're hearing me say these and you like these, go ahead and write them down and what their category is. Category 2, those are fibrous carbs, or FC. That's where you're going to find green beans, broccoli, cauliflower. It's also where you're going to find over 60 approved bread or bread type items that have enough fiber in them to break down in your body like a green bean rather than a bread. Okay, so we're going to go over more of those tomorrow night. Category 3, or energy carb, EC. This is where all of your potatoes are, corn, and lighter colored beans, that kind of thing. Ashley, let me answer that in the end. I will have come back and look at that at the end. I'll go over there and see what's happening. Okay. Category 4, protein plus fat. PF. That's where your whole eggs are. All of your cuts are steak, full fat cottage cheese, things like that. Category 5 is fruit, FR, also known as antioxidant carb. And the reason I point that out is I've seen a couple of sheets or documents in our website that said AC instead of fruit, and I just wanted you to have been introduced to it in the beginning and know what that meant. It's really just fruit. Category 6, superfood, SF. And category 7, shellfish, SHF. I'm going to go back to superfood. I didn't talk about this. This is where most of your darker colored beans are. This is where your nut butters are, nuts, seeds, and such. Shellfish, we call it SHF, is really just a lean protein. So right up here, category 1, lean protein, shellfish is like a subset of that. We gave it its own category because some people, due to medical reasons and biblical reasons, don't want to eat shellfish. So therefore, we just pulled it off and put it on its own. So shellfish is really just a lean protein. So if you are chatting on Facebook or you're talking with a friend and somebody says to you, you're going to have a lean protein with that, that means that it could come from the lean protein category or it could come from your shellfish category. In your lean protein category, you've got fish. All your fish is in the lean protein category. But those little critters that swim in the ocean that aren't fish, they're in shellfish, even if they don't have a shell. So for example, octopus, they don't have a shell, but it'd still be in shellfish. Okay, so there's 7 categories. We've gone over them. You've seen the abbreviation. The reason the abbreviation is important is so we can fit information in a nice little chart. Okay, so like right over here that says category 1, lean protein. I'm looking in this red column right now. This says category 1, lean protein and MCT, which is an oil. We're going to go over that in another slide. Category 1, lean protein, and category 2, fibrous carbs. These numbers here are the category number, not necessarily the quantity of these things. Each one of these lines is a meal in itself. So, you can choose to eat a lean protein and a fibrous carb. Coming over here, you could choose to eat a lean protein, a fibrous carb, and some superfood together. So just one of these lines is a meal that you would choose to eat. And you don't have to eat all of them in a day, of course, because only 3, but I answer and say those questions because I've been asked them. Okay. So, so you've got your bookends of the lifestyle. Category 1 and category 7 are your lean proteins, and then you have all in between. So this is pretty much a whole eating lifestyle, but we know to keep people's interest, they like variety. We have all kinds of things, even in the inner aisles of the grocery store, that we have found that work, and those things are in the food library as well. Okay, so one of the most important things that you can do is to print out that worksheet that I just showed you and start figuring out the foods that you like that are in the different categories, and then build yourself some meals on that worksheet. The colors of this combination chart are colors because they make a difference in the fastness of fat burning. So this blue column is a fast fat burning column. This yellow column is a faster fat burning column. And this column right here is like you're blowtorching fat, like you'd be blowtorching butter. It's going to be falling off like crazy, okay? So we call this more our lifestyle column because, this is where you get more flavors on your plate and things like this. This might be like you're taking the scenic route somewhere. This would be like you got on the interstate. You're going to take the Concorde to Europe. Concorde doesn't exist anymore, I know, but you're taking the airplane, okay? So there's a couple important things I want to talk to you about on this page, and you're going to want to write this bits of information down. I'm going to talk about energy, carbs, and fruit. So energy, carbs, and fruit, you do not eat by themselves. They must be properly combined. So I just pulled energy, carbs, and fruit out of the list and said you must eat them by themselves. The other 5, you can eat by themselves. You don't even have to combine them at all. So let's say that a protein plus fat, you just wanted some scrambled eggs. You can do that. Let's just say you wanted a piece of chicken breast. You can do that. So categories 1 and 2, category 4, and then category 6 and 7, they can be eaten all by themselves. So if you're taking notes, make sure to write that down. So it's category 3 and 5 that you cannot eat alone. I'm going to explain why. Because those categories they are kind of sugary or starchier. They elevate your blood sugar. So your blood sugar elevates when you eat a category 3 energy carb or a category 5 fruit. So that blood sugar elevates. Your pancreas secretes insulin. Insulin comes out to help regulate that blood sugar elevation. But see, now that you're learning this lifestyle and you know that we eat in a way that controls insulin, you've got to go back. I mean, you've got to eat something to control that insulin. So, because otherwise, insulin, remember we said it was a hormone and it's a growth hormone. It's focused on fat storage. So, let me give you an example. Let's say that you want to eat an energy carb. Let's say you want to eat some lima beans, okay? So about a quarter of a cup of lima beans is what you're going to use. You're going to use your 2-hand rule. You're going to put your lima beans maybe right there. But and this is important to write down. If you want to eat energy carbs, category 3, they must be eaten with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. It's both. So if you want to eat an energy carb, it must be eaten with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. Okay, so you have a hankering for lima beans. You're going to eat some lima beans. They're going to be about a quarter of a cup. And now that you know this information, you're going to maybe combine it with a 96% lean ground beef hamburger patty. And you're going to choose a fibrous carb. Let's choose green beans. Okay, so we've got a hamburger patty, green beans, lima beans. And we've portion controlled. Okay, we've portion controlled. The lima beans are going to elevate your blood sugar. Insulin, your pancreas is going to secrete insulin. And it is going to it's going to come out to help regulate your blood sugar. But we got to eat in a way that controls insulin. Now, because insulin gathers fat, well, there's really no fat in that meal that you ate, which is a good thing because we don't want fat out in our system at the same time as insulin. Okay. So, but later on in the day, if you eat something that's a protein plus fat, you don't want insulin running around in there. So you've got to do something in the confines of that meal to control the insulin. Well, the insulin came out because of the blood sugar elevation due to lima beans. The protein in that hamburger patty and the fiber in the green beans are going to help neutralize the insulin release from the lima beans. And at a quarter of a cup, did you overeat lima beans? No, you didn't. You didn't overeat lima beans at a quarter of a cup. So yes, some insulin came out, but not doses and doses and doses of it. So you could let the food that you ate on that plate be the medicine and take care of that insulin release for you all within that eating episode, all within that meal. Isn't that amazing? Absolutely amazing. The same thing happens with fruit. So let's say that you want to eat, let's say half a cup of berries. You want to eat half a cup of berries. Well, you're going to need to eat that with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. So maybe you make yourself an egg white spinach omelet. Well, the berries, even though they're one of the lowest glycemic fruits, are still going to bring a little bit of a blood sugar elevation. Your pancreas is going to secrete the insulin. You know now to eat it with lean protein and a fibrous carb. You chose egg whites and spinach. The egg whites, the protein in the egg whites and the fiber in the spinach are going to help neutralize the insulin release from the berries. It is a science fair project. It is going on in your body every time we eat. Every time we eat, we're putting together an experiment to see if it works. Okay. So I hope that you wrote down that you need to eat your energy carbs and your fruit with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. I'm going to answer some of these questions and then I'm going to come back and talk about a protein plus fat. All right. Let's see. Chris, can you have fruit blended in your meal replacement? We don't necessarily recommend that, Chris. You can have up to 50 calories in a meal replacement, but it is not necessarily recommended. A meal replacement has absolutely everything in there that you need, and it doesn't really need any additional things. But I see people do it, and technically, I guess we could let them, but it is not your best option, Chris. Okay, Cherie, I don't see fruit in the phase 1. This is correct, right? Okay, so Cherie's looking at this list and she doesn't see fruit in here. It's not listed, but that does not mean that you can't have it. Okay, you could have it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop that share real quick. I'm going to pop over here into the fast track laps. In the fast track laps on lap 5, here is another combination chart. This is actually a more varied, you've got more variety here, and see, you've got your fruit right here. So what we were saying, and I'm glad Cherie pointed this out, is that in phase 1, now I don't want y'all to get confused with phase 1, phase 2 talk either. See, phase 1 is really the lifestyle. You'll never be out of phase 1. Phase 2 is when we open up frozen meals, soups, Captain Crunch, Cocoa Puffs. Don't get too excited. You can't have much of it. But those are some of those inner aisle grocery store items that are in phase 2. Phase 1 is really your better foods. But I do want you to know, anybody, even in phase 1, you can use this advanced combination chart if you want to. It's totally fine. You can use that. Now, will you have the better results if you go with just that other one? Probably. But you can use it, so it's there for you. And let's see. Yes, it is awesome, Polly. It certainly is. And then Roseanne, can I do low-fat cottage cheese instead of egg whites? Yes. Low-fat cottage cheese is a category 1 lean protein. Yes. You might choose, if you're going with that little berry example, and we're going to talk about hemp products tomorrow night, but you might want to put some hemp flakes in that cottage cheese and possibly have your lean protein that way. Or maybe you want a fibrous carb piece of toast. That might work, Roseanne, because if you're doing the example of the fruit, you're going to need a 1 and a 2, or a lean protein and a 2. And then you can eat superfoods in your first week, Lynn. Yes, that's fine. And Ashley May, this is the one that you can't print. Oh, okay. So when this comes up, can you just, what I do is save image, click on save image as, and save it to your computer, and then print it from there. Yeah, it's just an image, Ashley. So save it to your computer and then print it. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Okay, and Deanna, I got you, Roseanne. I understand. Yes, but you can do that. There's other options. There's other options than the egg whites I gave. That's why it's really important for each person to do this worksheet themselves, because we are not about you eating stuff you don't like. And so this exercise right here is for you to customize the foods you do like, and then you start building your meals. Now, Deanna says, should you add hemp flakes to meals for better weight loss? So hemp flakes are great for weight loss, but you don't want to just randomly add them for no reason, because they do have calories in them. So Deanna, I would use them purposefully. I wouldn't just randomly add them, because you still want to keep your calories under control. Hey, Andrea on Facebook, keep your calories under control by not just adding random hemp flakes or hemp seeds to something, because they've got calories in them. But they are great for weight loss used properly, but just not added to things randomly. Yes, and Lisa also is saying that the food combos are on the Shibboleth mobile app as well. Okay. So no, adding lemon to water is fine, Angela. You can do that. It does not add calories. Okay, so let's look right here at these protein plus fat, because this is a very, very, very important one to talk about. You can add hemp flakes to 0% fat, the Greek plain yogurt. Yes, Yes, you can. That actually makes a really great 1 and 2. And if you did want some fruit to go with that, that's that little parfait people are making right now. So that would be good, Cindy. So this protein plus fat right here. Notice this word, excuse me, fat. Fat is there, but fat is not a bad word. Fat actually is good for us in certain amounts. Our bodies need fat for certain functions. It's going to take it, it's going to use that. And when you eat fat, portion controlled, it's not going to make you fat. Okay. But we do have to control insulin for sure when fat is around because insulin collects fat. So, so Deanna, 3 to 5 tablespoons is your amount. If you are using 1 tablespoon of hemp flakes, that could be called a condiment of hemp flakes. But if you're using it as a component of a meal, I'd start with 3. And depending on what else you got going on there, you could go up to 5, but I would just start with 3. I've tried 5 before. It was really too much. But 1 would be a condiment, and let's just say 3 for hemp flakes. But there is a recipe, Deanna, in the recipe library that you could look up and see what that person gave some examples. And Andrea on Facebook is so berries with hemp flakes on top of 000 yogurt are approved. Yes, it is. Okay, so let's talk about this. So the way I have to teach this is what you don't eat with this. You're welcome. What you don't eat with this one. So you got your protein plus fat. That fat word should be going ding, ding, ding. I must be careful. So you're not going to eat your proteins plus fat with your energy carbs, fruit, or superfoods. So I hope you wrote that down. You're not going to eat your category 4s, your protein plus fat, with your energy carbs, which is category 3, your fruit, which is category 5, or your superfoods, which are category 6. The reason you're not going to do that is because these bring more of an insulin release, and you do not want any type of insulin release out in your body when fat's out there because it'll collect it. And we do not want to collect new fat while we're trying to burn old fat. So we don't want to do that. So let me give you the classic plate of a steak and baked potato. You eat that steak, it's a protein plus fat. It's great protein. It's got some fat in it. That's not even the problem. That would be no problem at all, portion controlled. The problem comes in when you eat it with the baked potato. The baked potato, and this, if we're at a restaurant, the baked potatoes aren't even reasonably sized. They're huge. So you have dose after dose of insulin be secreted by your pancreas to deal with the blood sugar elevation that came from the potato. So the insulin comes out to regulate your blood sugar. But then it gets super excited. It says, wait a minute, there's some fat out here. Let me go collect that. Yay. So that's why we call that the fat bus. It will go around and pick up any fat and store it. It's just what insulin does. So if we don't have that protein plus fat with something that brings an insulin release, that fat is going to be used up as energy. It'll dissipate as heat and go away. It won't be stored as fat. So if you want to eat a protein plus fat, you can eat it by itself, but optimally you'd pair it with a fibrous carb. You can have it with a fibrous carb, okay? You can also have surf and turf. So let's say that you want to have steak and lobster down here, your shellfish. You could do steak and lobster. Now that's your protein source. And all of your protein source would still need to fit under this one hand. So maybe you have a little bit of steak, a little bit of lobster, but you get more flavors. Okay, so you can do that, but you just don't want to have protein plus fat with anything that brings an insulin and more of an insulin release, and that would be your energy carbs, your fruit, and your superfoods. Now, you might be thinking, why does a superfood bring more of an insulin release? Well, it has all 4 macronutrients in there. We call water on planet Shibboleth a macronutrient, so that's where I'm getting the 4, because your other ones are protein, fat, and carbs. And superfoods have water, protein, fat, and carbs in them. So if you're writing notes, it's got water, protein, fat, and carbs in a superfood. And so because it does have a little bit of carbs in it, and superfoods vary greatly. So some have more carbs than others, okay? We just keep ourselves safe by not eating them with the proteins plus fat, okay? So all of tomorrow night's 1 hour is on this topic, okay? So make sure that you come back tomorrow night. I want to go back real quick. I know this might seem weird, but I'm going to go back here to portion control because I forgot to mention something. There's 3,500 calories in 1 pound of fat. In order to get 1 pound of fat off of us, we've got to be in a calorie deficit of 3,500 calories. That doesn't typically happen, overnight. It happens over a course of a couple of days because we still have to eat to live. Okay, so we want to make sure that we're portion controlling to get us into that calorie deficit, but then we combine foods in a way that control insulin to not collect new fat and supercharge what we're doing. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to recap those important rules of food combining. Your fastest fat burning combination is a category 1 or 7 cooked with a category 2 and using MCT oil. That's your fastest fat burning combination. If you want to eat a category 3 or 5, you must eat it with a 1 or a 7, which is your lean protein choices, and a 2. So your 3s, which are your energy carbs, and your 5s, which are fruit, must be eaten with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. And we just don't eat our category 4s with 3s, 5s, or 6s. So Lynn is asking a question about calories. Okay, so Lynn, we actually don't even concern ourselves with calories. I needed to mention that just so that you would know that, it's an important part of losing weight or burning fat, but we don't really highly focus on calories. And that's one of the things I really love about Shibboleth is that I didn't have to worry about calories. If you are interested, Lynn, I'll tell you, take whatever your ideal weight range is, there's an ideal weight range option that you're going to do in your fast track laps. Figure out what your ideal weight range is, pick a goal weight, multiply that goal weight by the number 8, and you don't want more than that many calories in a day. So for example, if my goal weight is 135 times 8, I don't want more than 1,080 calories in a day in weight loss mode. It changes in maintenance mode. But see, you don't really need to worry about it because if you're portion controlling and you're combining properly and you're giving yourself that timing between meals and all of that, you won't really have to worry about it. But if you're already a natural calorie counter or something like that, I tell you that so that you can use it. But otherwise, I don't really have to worry about that. And Deanna says, you're welcome, Lynn. Never eat a category 4 with 3s, 5s, 6. Is that right? Yes, that is correct, Deanna. That is correct. And then the last bullet point here says all meat at a restaurant should be considered a category 4. So let's say you go to a restaurant and you think, I'm going to order some corn. So I know that that's a category 3, and I must have that with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. So maybe at that restaurant, you're going to order a chicken breast and green beans. If you cook that at home, that would be a properly combined meal. At a restaurant, I can guarantee you they did not use MCT oil. So they took a piece of lean protein, they took a piece of chicken, they cooked it in some type of oil that was not approved, that was a fattier oil. They basically turned that lean protein into a protein plus fat. So at restaurants, all meat should be considered a category 4. And that tells you you're not going to order it with your 3s, 5s, or 6s. You're not going to order it that way. So that's going to keep you safe. Angela, I'm talking about that on the next slide. And then Lisa, what do we do with artificial sweeteners? You can have them if you want them. Artificial sweeteners. So here's the thing. One of the things I love about Shibboleth is that we do not discriminate against what people can use. So there's a lot of lifestyles or programs out there that, they're all about trying to do certain things. In Shibboleth, you have a lot of variety. If you use artificial sweeteners, then you can use them. They are approved. Now, do we promote them necessarily? No. What our lifestyle does is we put everything that you can use in the food library and you can use it. So we're not promoting them, but do you want to use them possibly? Go ahead. That's fine. You can use them. Chris says, are we to only choose one item from each category for a 1 and a 2. Okay, so if you are making a meal that is a category 1 and a 2, so let's say you want chicken breast, but then you also want green beans and broccoli, you can do 2 fibrous carbs. That's totally fine. You just want to remember your portion controls. They should not be more than this hand. And, if you want chicken and shrimp, that's both lean proteins. You could do that. They just need to be under this hand. Yes, an MCT oil is an oil that you cook with. All right, let's look at this next slide right here. Here's our approved cooking oils. And I'm going to say secret alert right here. Secret alert. MCT oil is what you want to use to cook in. Now, the thing about MCT oil is this. It has a very low smoke point. If you're cooking in a pot or a pan, make sure it's on low to medium heat. Otherwise, you will set off your smoke detector. Okay, so it's got a low smoke point. So MCT stands for medium chain triglyceride. It has almost no propensity to be stored on your body as fat. That's good news, okay? It burns up quickly on your body and in the pan. So cook on low to medium heat. The other oils that you might have been using before Shibboleth, let's just say olive oil, canola oil, vegetable oil, those are long chain triglycerides. They're a longer fat lipid. They're also very dense. They take a very long time to burn up. They have a great propensity to be stored on your body as fat because we're often not burning up enough calories to burn through them in a day. We're just kind of going through this cycle and defeating the purpose using the wrong oils. So we recommend 100% MCT oil. You can buy it anywhere just about these days, but if you're going to buy one, I highly recommend the one that we sell, okay? We sell Zero Drag. That is the brand name of it. You can buy that in the Shibboleth store. Are you required to buy anything from us to be a Shibboleth member? No. Can you find everything that you need to do this lifestyle at your local grocery store? Yes. Why do we carry things in a store? Because the things that we like the best, we like to share with people. And we found things over the years that work great. We have them in our store, and they're not necessarily that easy to find in stores. Some of these things are limited type specialty items. So the reason that I like the one in the store is because per 1 tablespoon, which is your amount of MCT that you could use, it's got 100 calories in it, where every other MCT oil that I've looked at has 130 calories. I don't want a random extra 30 calories. I mean, if I'm supposedly only going to get 1,080 calories in a day, why would I want 30 random extra calories? So I like to use the Zero Drag. We also know it has been optimized for cooking purposes, and we are only going to use MCT oil for 3 reasons. 3 reasons. We're going to cook with it in a pot or a pan if the combination calls for it, okay? I'll talk about that in a second. You can use it in a recipe, and you can make salad dressings with it. But we're not going to add it to shakes, take it as a supplement, or put it in coffee. There's a lot of noise out there right now about MCT oils, but see, not those people aren't necessarily in the nutritional situation that we're in. We're in the nutritional situation of wanting to burn body fat. Well, MCT oil used appropriately can help you do that, but used inappropriately is just adding random calories. So you can use it to cook in a pot and a pan, recipes, or making salad dressings with it. So MCT oil. Um, Well, Deanna, stores are extremely expensive to maintain, and we do have our store online, and any order $30 or more ships for free. So that's that. Okay, let's see. Cherie says best option for heating your oil is to heat the pan for a few minutes first on medium high, and then add the oil and lower the temp, then add your food and cook. And listen, she knows what she's talking about. She's a Pampered Chef rep and one of the top ones too. She just won a trip. So that is great advice. Thank you, Cherie. I appreciate it. Okay, coconut oil would be our second recommended. It's 66% MCTs. Now, let me tell you something. When you're looking to buy MCT oil in a store and you flip over that bottle and you read those ingredients, if it doesn't say 100% medium chain triglycerides, don't call it 100% medium chain triglycerides. If it says medium chain triglycerides from coconut oil, You might just be buying some high-priced coconut oil. So coconut oil is not 100% MCTs, it's 66% MCTs. Ghee butter, which is GHEE butter, is butter, but it's been clarified. It's 40 to 45% MCTs. I say ghee butter is great when you need like a shrimp scampi meal. It needs that butter to taste like that. Maybe you want to dip some lobster in it, crab legs, things like that. Those are the times where you might use ghee butter. So there's these approved oils, and then obviously you can use 0-calorie cooking spray. Let's see. Because butter has too much fat in it and it's got too many calories and other things. So ghee butter, I actually don't even know the whole reason, Roseanne, but maybe Cherie does. But butter has, there's not as, okay, I'm coming around to it. There's not as many MCTs in it because we're pulling all the MCTs into that ghee butter, that clarified butter. So, and we're trying to get the MCT property. But that's a great question. And Roseanne, one of the best places to add that would be on the Shibboleth Fixed It Facebook group. Kim Shibboleth monitors that and would be happy to answer that. It's a great question, though. Okay, so 0-calorie cooking spray is great. So let me tell you when I use these things. When I'm cooking a protein plus fat that already has great, Cherie, she doesn't have her chat set to all panelists and attendees. The question is, if ghee is butter separated, why not be able to just use butter? And I was saying that there's not as many MCTs in it because the clarification brings all the MCTs out in it. So if I'm using a protein plus fat, it's already got natural, healthy oils and fats in it. I don't need to add an MCT, coconut oil, or ghee butter to it necessarily. So if I'm cooking a protein plus fat, I use the 0-calorie cooking spray. So let me just give you an easy example. Egg whites are a lean protein. I can use my medium chain triglycerides, coconut oil, or ghee butter. No problem. But that 0-calorie cooking spray is what I'm going to use if I'm cooking whole eggs because they've already got natural healthy fats in them. But this is secret alert area right here, y'all. You want to make sure that you use these oils only. If you don't use these oils, it's not an approved perfect day because other oils aren't approved on the program. Let's see. Cherie says, yeah, you're right. It's because of the extra fat in the butter. And then Deanna says, where do you find the online store? Okay. So when you log into your website, right up here at the very top, it says store, and you click there. And all members get 20% off, so it may already be priced that way. See, like this would be $350 if you're not a member, it'd be $280 if you're a member. Oh, Lisa. Okay. Lisa says ghee doesn't have the milk solids in it. Therefore, the sugar is removed. Lisa, woo! I just learned something tonight. That is awesome. And sugar is the problem. It's a insulin producing thing. Good job, Lisa. Does that help, Roseanne? And do you see, Deanna? Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for that. Yes. Yes. Awesome. Awesome. This has been brilliant. That was amazing. Okay, cool. Glad you see that. All right. So let's go back to this little PowerPoint. And there's going to be more education and you're going to continue to learn the things, but just the things that I'm talking about tonight, just know this is what you follow. This is what you do. All right. You heard me talk about EFB, efficient fat burning. Efficient fat burning is how our body is going to access and burn the stored energy, which is fat that's already on us for energy rather than using unapproved oils and starchy or sugary carbs. So we're striving for those perfect days, okay? You're striving for check, and then flames. You want to string as many efficient fat burning days together as you can, but then planned or unplanned, A holiday is coming. Now you have a plan though. See, after the holiday or after the holidays that we just had, Christmas and New Year's, Thanksgiving, we got a plan. We get back to these perfect days so that we can truly enjoy the holidays, but not have bad results of letting holiday turn into holiday. We do not need 365 holidays in a year. We need a balanced plan, and that's what Shibboleth is. So then, after you've had a holiday, you're going to do 2 perfect days. On that third day, you're going to get back into EFB. You're going to string as many efficient fat burning days together as you can. And then, planned or unplanned, a holiday is coming. This is a cycle. It's going to happen. But now you know how to get back to it. So, after a holiday, it takes 2 perfect days to get back into EFB. And if we're giving our body unapproved oils and starchy or sugary carbs, our body is going to access that first for energy, and then it's not ever going to really get to the stored energy. So that's why what we're doing is very, very important. I'm glad you're here, Polly, getting that refresher course. That's awesome. Okay, recapping the fat bus. The fat bus is insulin. It's a hormone. It is a growth hormone that is focused on fat storage. And fat storage will occur for up to 48 hours after an insulin release. That is why you have the 2 perfect days to get back into EFB. See, over those 2 perfect days, insulin is dissipating and your body is using up any glycogen stores that were in your liver or in your muscles. And then you get back to using that stored energy. Look at this bullet point too, right here. Insulin also increases your appetite. So if you ever had some ice cream, after you've eaten the ice cream, you all of a sudden want some bag of chips. After the bag of chips, you want a Hershey bar. After the Hershey bar, you want some sweet and sour something. I mean, insulin will do that to you. So if you've ever had that crazy chaotic cycle start, that's because insulin increases your appetite. It sends it off the charts. The last line here, after the fat bus has been on its rounds, it takes 2 perfect days to get back into EFB. Okay, Jane, I have a bottle of MCT oil, but it says it is MCT from coconut oil. Would it be approved or should I get another brand? You could use that as coconut oil. You just would not want to you wouldn't want to think you're using MCT oil with that. But because coconut oil is approved, you could use it. Now, you might want to use it up and then not buy that again and make sure you get the right one. Or maybe you give it to somebody else and you buy a new one. But coconut oil is approved. It's just MCT oil is better. Glad you looked. Okay, what are you going to eat this week? Well, I am in hopes that you participated in mine and Travis's class on Thursday night that kind of helped you start to pick out some foods. But if you weren't there, that's okay. I need you to go to the food library and pick out 7 of your favorite lean proteins and 7 of your favorite fibrous carbs and just start mixing and matching those together. And then if you have some MCT oil, cook them up in MCT oil for the fastest fat burning combination. Throw in a few meal replacements for simplicity. Maybe you get a Mighty Muffin, a Power Crunch bar, a hemp bar, those things that are just really, really easy because a lot of us are on the go. If you are eating Pop-Tarts and cereal for breakfast, you're going to want to figure out what a replacement might be for that to keep your life easy again. And then keep it really, really simple in the beginning, and then you're going to branch out as you live the lifestyle. Let's see. Polly says that taking insulin shots is the pits. That's true. And Jane says she won't buy that again. I have the original Thrive oil that Travis sold earlier. Okay. And Cindy says Mighty Muffins are the best MR meal replacement. I ate 20 of them in my first 20 days because I knew they were keeping me in EFB. They kept me satisfied and they tasted good. So find some Mighty Muffins. And Susan says, I'm having a hard time finding MCT. The Shibby store should not be out. Susan, do me a favor. If and y'all can all listen to this. If the Shibboleth store online ever says that it's out, go onto the website, scroll all the way to the bottom, and call the Dalton phone number. Call the Dalton phone number and ask. They may have gotten it in, and it might just not have made it back into the store yet. Okay, but y'all can call to talk to Jason or Cindy and find out. Let's see. I've got some questions on Facebook. The one I use is not for cooking. However, I've been using it to cook with. Uh-oh, okay. It's Garden of Life. Okay. Well, yes, whatever you do though, don't take it as a supplement. Garden of Life may be selling that as a supplement, not necessarily for cooking. So, it does have calories. And then Andrea says, is it okay to eat a lean protein or a fibrous carb with a meal replacement? You don't really need to do that. A meal replacement should be enough calories, and it should also have all the macronutrients that you need. So I would not necessarily add a lean protein or a fibrous carb to a meal replacement. Okay, one last slide. We're going to finish up. Last but not least, take advantage of our awesome resources, okay? Shibboleth is a ministry first and foremost. We don't charge much to get into Shibboleth. We really don't. I think y'all got to know that. Give me some hearts if you agree with that, because it is amazing that we charge so little. But we have tons of support. Get in the Facebook support groups that you can be in. And as you walk your way through the fast track laps, there's links to join all of them. That fast track laps, you want to walk your way through those because it's a very self-directed plan to make you get everything done in that first week that you need done. Familiarize yourself with our awesome website. If you're watching the individual video within each lap, then you're going to be shortening your learning curve, okay? Make a getting started mentor appointment, but do it for next week. The reason I want you to do it for next week is because this week I want you to focus on the fast track laps, okay? Because when you talk with your mentor next week, you are going to have a more intelligent conversation if you know what you're talking about with her, okay? She can do a better job of helping you meal plan or whatever it is that you need to do. Let's see. And Lisa says, is there an online calculator somewhere to see if a prepackaged food is approved? There is, and I'll show it to you. Well, let me finish this slide at this right here. Welcome to the Shibboleth family. We are here for you. So I'm going to share my screen and show this that Lisa is asking about. If you go into the food library, which is in the green tab, resources, foods and recipes, and you go into the approved food library, there's a food calculator right here. And you answer those questions and put in all of that. And then you hit check and it'll let you know. So that's where you do that. It's in the food library. Okay. And Michelle says, doing us daily. Okay. So Michelle is telling you to like the Shibboleth public Facebook page. I go live there Monday through Friday, sometime in the 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes, Andrea. Yes. Meaning even if you're really hungry, like after workout, you still wouldn't add lean protein or a fibrous carb to your meal replacement. So you're welcome. You're welcome, Lisa. So if you'll go there in the mornings, it's sometime in the 7 o'clock hour Eastern Standard Time. I go live with a morning focus, little bit of daily devotion and morning motivation. And I would absolutely love for you guys to join me. Robin, we don't have a food scanner. Okay. And then thank you, Michelle. I had troubles with that calculator, finding out the categories. Yeah, I mean, honestly, could you tell y'all the flat out honest truth? I have never used the food calculator, not one time. Lynn, it's not on the app. See, apps are very expensive to maintain. So we have the 4 main things that people visit the most often on the apps. 1 is the food library, 2, the recipe library, and 3, the restaurant guide. And then we've got a simple journal on there. So, okay, let me go back. Let's see. So Roseanne says where it shows the drop down. Well, see, this is this is you trying to say which this is. So when you put in an item, is this item a bread? Is it a cheese? Is it a meal replacement? So I'm not understanding. Okay, let's see. I had troubles with that calculator finding out the categories. Well, this calculator is not going to tell you the category. This calculator is to use. Let's say that you're in the grocery store and you cannot find the item that you're thinking about purchasing. You looked it up in the food library and it's not in there. Robin, I go live on the public Facebook page. So make sure y'all have liked the Shibboleth public Facebook page and marked get all notifications. Okay. So this isn't going to tell you what category this is. So if you're standing in the store, you look in the food library and you cannot find that particular item, this is where you could come here and say where you're wanting to use it and all of that, how you're wanting to use it. So this isn't here to tell you what category something is in. Let's see. And then Jane says, I went to the food library, but may have missed the calculator. Can't find it from the food library page. So if y'all have not gone all the way through every task in the fast track laps, not everything in this website is going to be open to you, because the point is to do your little education, and then you get all of the resources once your whole website is opened up to you after you've done the fast track laps, because we got to take you through a systematic and organized way to learn everything. But I'm going to show you again, Jane. Watch this. I just clicked on the green box, approved food library. It says food calculator right there. So if it's not saying it there, you might need to go back and do your fast track laps. Yes, I can. Let's see. Let me go back to Roseanne. Might have been the brown rice I had earlier. And then, gotcha, Jane, gotcha. And then Lisa says, can you show us how to get there again? Lisa, are you asking to get to the calculator? Deanna, yes, this food calculator can tell you if a food can be approved or not. So here's the thing though. Travis really didn't want to put this food calculator in here. He wanted this for the team because there's a lot to look into. There's a lot of judgment calls that are made sometimes, and the team can do that. But yes, you are right. Okay, Lisa, good. You're right. This calculator will tell you if a food can be approved if it's not already in the food library. So, but like I said earlier, I have personally not one time used the food calculator. What I did was I spent my time in these resources right here. I went into the food library and then I clicked on lean protein. And if you're filling out that worksheet during the week, that's part of, everything in the fast track laps drives you to do all of these different activities that I'm showing you. So make sure you're in there. Y'all let me know if I missed anybody's questions or anything. So when I clicked on lean protein right here, do you see all these little filters up here? These are filters, which is great. These filters are absolutely amazing. There are ways to help you. Let's say that you want to look for a meal replacement, but you need it to be gluten-free. Well, you can go to meal replacements and click gluten-free, okay? But let's say lean protein. Do you see this right here? Weight loss meter. Do you see there's a -3 and a +3? Well, this is a range. It's a way for us to judge whether a food is really good for weight loss or if it's really better for maintenance, okay? Right here in the center, 0 is not going to help you, not going to hurt you. Negative numbers are better for weight loss. Positive numbers are not going to hurt you if you have them ever so often on an approved perfect day, but they're really best kept for maintenance. But watch this. I'm going to drag this and I'm going to take this down to a -1 to -3, and I'm going to hit set. And then what I did was I just went through and started reading all of these things. And if I thought I might want to try it, I hearted it. And it puts it into my personal food library. So when you're hearting or favoriting these items, it puts it into a smaller food library, your own personal food library that you'll find in your journal or right here in my favorites, right here in the top right-hand corner. So, so that's what I did. I've not used the food calculator, not one time. Let's see. Michelle says to open up the full library, you have to finish fast track and daily doses and take the test. You'll get the badge after you've passed. Yeah, so actually, to open up the full food library, you have to do all of the fast track laps and that test. But daily doses, you don't have to do that one yet. But you'll get another badge for that one. Good. Awesome, Roseanne. Awesome. Okay, y'all have asked great and wonderful questions, and let me know if there's anything else. But all these little bits and pieces that I've shown on the website tonight, if you do the laps and you watch the videos, it's going to help direct you to do all of these tasks and really figure out how to learn to do this. But I want y'all to start tomorrow night. Who signed up for the Fast Track Challenge? I'm going to go see. If you would like to sign up for the Fast Track Challenge, what I did was I clicked on Challenge. Good, Lynn. You can click on the Fast Track Challenge, and then you come down here and you can accept it. Accept that button. Yay, good. I love it. Let me click right here. I want to see who's in there. All right. So we've got Judith Lee, Rebecca Lilly, Sherry Moore, Sherry Arnold, Debbie Grimsley, Harriet Thomas, Deanna Wood. Hey, Deanna. Paula Keelan, Janine Chambers, Christy Ogle, Lisa Beth, Jennifer Tanner, Lynn Ulrich, Kimberly Brock, and Lynn Vance. Awesome. Hey, Lynn, I see you there. Now, when y'all are going through here, when y'all go there, see this little cog wheel that looks like a setting? If I click this and then I hit plus this friend, I just added Lynn as a friend. It usually pops up with a prettier little thing, but oh well, I lost it. But anyway, if you click on that little cog, you can click add friend on there and we can friend each other inside the Shibboleth website. Yay. Jennifer, let's see, Jennifer Tanner, did not see her name on the list. Let's go back. Well, do you know that this is the first week the Fast Track Challenge has ever happened? So y'all are a first. Okay, Lisa says she can't find it. So are you on your phone, Lisa, or on a computer? And I'm going to help you out, Jennifer, in just a second. Okay, if you are on a phone, okay, Lisa, when on a computer, there's two ways to find it. The orange challenge button on the left, you click there, and then it's going to come up to group challenges. Well, this is going to be the first one that's highlighted because most people are doing these larger group challenges, but you click on fast track, and that's where you would come down and you would accept this button here. The second way to find it would be Robin on Facebook. I was saying that this is the first fast track challenge ever. Oh, it's just a challenge for the very first week people get started, or if they're restarting and want to participate in that so they can see their top 10 and their percentage of weight loss and all that. You could also go here to this orange wall breakers and challenges and go under group challenges that way. And then click fast track. If you're on your phone, you're going to see a black circle up in the top left-hand corner. Click there and the drop-down menu is going to pop down. You click challenges and you can find it from there on your phone. Okay, good, Lisa, but let's find Jennifer. I found it in the bottom list. I was looking. Yes. Okay, good. Yes. So what's happening, we're going to go back and show you guys here because I'm so excited. Y'all are excited. Okay. These are only going to list the top 10. So once some data starts getting into this, this challenge, once some data starts getting in here, it'll list just the top 10. So it just goes to the top 10. But all other competitors will be listed down here at the bottom. Absolutely everybody that's in will be listed down here at the bottom. So let's see. Jennifer found it. Yes. So y'all for sure join this challenge. It's the Fast Track Challenge. So okay, well, y'all have asked great questions. I've enjoyed being with you so much tonight. Please join me on Facebook in the morning. If you're unable to join live, please go back and watch it. That'll work. And I also put it into the journal every day. So when you go in to log into your journal, they can be in there too. Now, if you've got a backup of videos to watch in your journal, you might not see my daily one appear until you've watched all the other videos that are in there. Oh, by the way, when you're watching videos on the website, always mark yes that you've watched it. Yes, make sure. Otherwise, you might keep seeing those in your journal over and over and over again. Plus, you get points for participating. Jennifer says, do we have special instructions for the challenge or do we just journal? Thank you, Deanna. Okay, great question, Jennifer. And Travis put us some rules in here. So let's go back and let's read these rules. So the rules for Fast Track are right here. And I don't really want to read them out loud, Jennifer, but you're going to want to do this. So, but the instructions are this: have perfect days. You want to make sure you get your water in, you journal, you combine, you portion, you have good timing. So Jennifer, what it is it's regular Shibboleth perfect days for 7 days to get us the best results. But you just journal, live a perfect day and journal. But if you really want to know all of that, read right there. And then once you've clicked it, they give you a little bit of extra info too. Okay. I hope this has helped. Y'all, I'm on Marco Polo too. Kim Danke, if anybody wants to find me on Marco Polo, okay? All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a great night, and I look forward to seeing your success this week in the Fast Track Challenge. Night, everybody. Thank you, Lisa and Deanna and Roseanne. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for hanging out with me for so long. I appreciate it. And Robin is asking how to get to the journal, the video on the journal. Well, first of all, it's on the website, not the app. And then what you would do is you go into the journal, this tab right here. It's always going to be right here. This is where your video and the journal is going to be. Now, when you're going to your journal, there's a new view and an old view. I have mine in the old view because I like the old view better. But if you click on new view, there's more tabs at the top, and you click on these tabs to enter all the information. But there's the journal video right there. And if, like I was saying, if you've got a backup of videos in your journal, then you might not see my daily one that I do. But the daily one is also here. If you click on dashboard, right here, my daily video is always going to come up right there. Even if it's not the most current one in your journal because you haven't caught up your journal videos yet, my daily one is going to be right there. My most recent class is going to be right there. If I've written a blog, it's going to be right there. Any other notes or things that I've done are going to be right in there. Same for Jason and same for Travis. Good, Dottie. Awesome. I'm glad you've been here with us. I'm glad. And I tell you what, y'all hung on. Y'all hung on a long time because y'all had awesome questions. I appreciate the questions. It's much more fun when people are asking questions. But seriously, focus on the Fast Track this week because it will help you. Bye, everybody. Do great. You're welcome, Lynn.